Hello COS supporters, COS volunteers, and district captains all across the nation. My name is Andrew. This is the 5-Hour Activist Series. Well, I'm a district captain in California House District 42. And I got some really exciting news that I'm going to share with you in this episode. But before I get to that, if this is the first time that you've tuned into this web series, or if you're not quite sure what a district captain is, please go check out some of my previous videos where I share some of my experiences as a district captain. Well, district captains are basically the backbone of Convention of States, and we are the driving force that is going to bring a Convention of States to fruition by doing two things. District captains are engaging petition signers and activists within their district. The second thing is building a relationship and fostering a relationship with their legislator. And in previous videos, I've talked about how I'm writing handwritten letters to my legislator, I'm handwriting notes, I'm calling my legislator's office, and I'm sending emails to the legislator staff. But I've never had a chance to talk with my legislator, Chad Mays. So instead of writing a handwritten letter and then sending it off in the mail, I decided I was going to go in person and deliver the note to the legislator staff. So I wrote out my note. I asked Chad Mays to support the Convention of States project. I told him the reasons why. I told him how limiting the size, scope, and jurisdiction of the federal government is only going to be achievable through Article 5 because Congress is never going to limit their own power. I talked about term limits, and I talked about fiscal responsibility and putting in some checks to end the reckless spending that we see. So I went over to my legislator's office to drop off the handwritten note with the hope that he would respond to me, maybe through an email or maybe write a handwritten letter back to me. So I'm over here at my legislator's district office because, as I had mentioned earlier, I wrote a handwritten note that I was going to deliver to his staff. Well, I just got so lucky. My legislator is actually out talking on the phone outside of his office.
There's my assembly member. Let's just go sneak up on him.
So I'm just going to wait. And then as soon as he's off the phone, I'm going to go over and I'm going to hand deliver that note to him. And I'm just going to try and spark up a conversation. And hey, maybe he'll even be willing to be in my video. But either way, I'm going to wait patiently and see if I can go talk to him. Okay, so I just finished having a conversation with Chad Mays, my assembly member, and it went really, really well. He wasn't warm to the idea of being on camera, probably because this was the first time he'd met me, but we did have a very engaging conversation. So I told him about the Convention of States project, what our goals are. I told him about limiting the size, scope, jurisdiction of the federal government, how we want to implement fiscal responsibility at the federal level, and also term limits for elected officials. And he seemed fairly warm to the idea. So much so that he said he'd be willing to have a deeper discussion about the Convention of States project and what I'm doing in my district. Really excited that this happened. I'm so fortunate that I just was at the right place at the right time. And I'm just blessed that I was able to have a quick conversation with my legislator. So hopefully this will bear some fruit. And hopefully this turns into Chad Mays possibly supporting the Convention of States project in my district. That would be just such a huge win. I would be just so thrilled if that ended up being the case. Well, we'll see. I'm going to continue to build that relationship with my legislator, and hopefully it will end up being something that will work out. So besides the encounter with Chad Mays, I still was able to have a relatively productive week. I printed out all of the volunteers within my district, and I started calling them one by one. I started asking them if they'd be willing to write handwritten notes and if they'd be willing to talk to their legislator's office about Convention of States. So there's about 200 volunteers within my district, so there's a lot of names that I have to get through. So it's going to be a project I'm going to be working on for the next couple weeks. I've also been corresponding back and forth with my legislator staff. We're talking about when I would be able to meet with Chad Mays. Now, right now, coronavirus is making it difficult to actually secure a meeting with Chad Mays, but just keeping in contact with the staff and keeping it fresh in their mind that I want to meet him is something that I need to do, and it's something that I'm working toward. Well, that's all I've got for you this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. Please tune in next week where I will talk about things that I'm doing within my district. And also, please stay safe right now. Make sure that you're social distancing. Make sure you're washing your hands, not touching your face. This is the best thing that we can do to prevent the spread of coronavirus. And please get out there in your districts in a safe manner. Make sure that you're engaging activists within your district, because right now we are turning voters into activists. That is the whole goal of Convention of States. We want to raise the largest grassroots army this country has ever seen. And the only way we're going to do that is if we engage our citizens. So we got a country to save. Get out there, get in your district. My name is Andrew, and this was episode 15 of the 5 Hour Activist series. Until next time, bye.